everyone, welcome to a fresh episode of igebra's YouTube Live. So, for today's session, because examinations are approaching, perform anxiety is a major issue among students. So, for this topic, we have Rekha and Jay over here. So, Jay is joining us for the very first time. So, Jay, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm excited about this.
Yes, we are very excited to have you here as well. So let's talk about exam anxiety and how to overcome it. Performance anxiety is a common feeling among students during the preparation and writing of board examination. Exam anxiety hinders learning and also impairs the working memory. Almost every student experiences some level of stress throughout their examination, but some students have significant anxiety issues. Even our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in the recent sixth edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha, discussed the various issues raised by students regarding their preparation of board examination because all of them are actually appearing for board examination after 2 years of online classes. So, Rekha, I would begin with you. That what exactly is exam anxiety and how to spot it? What are the symptoms for it?
Uh, Anxiety, basically, as all of us know, is some kind of nervousness that a person goes through because of some fear factor. It can happen in any sphere of life. But for children, before exams, even though they have prepared very well and they're confident, I don't say all kids have it. A few kids, irrespective of their intelligence, do suffer from exam anxiety, which means they either blank out just before writing the exam, though they must have prepared. Suddenly, because of that anxiety, they blank out, or there are cases where they are physically unwell. I have seen a couple of friends of mine, physically they become unwell just before the exams. Either they pick a fever, or they're dizzy, or they're feeling nauseous, or they're not able to eat. So at that point, they need a lot of support, because these people are extremely intelligent. They're intelligent students. They've prepared very well over the year. But just the fact that now it is time to perform, and it is going to take them this way or that way, causes some kind of a threat inside them. That threat is what causes anxiety. What is exam? It is about your performance.
Right, right,
Your performance is going to be assessed. So that threatening feeling is what they don't like.
right.
So they get into some kind of an anxiety. But of course, now we have lot of counselors, and we have lot of support. I don't like kids to be medicated, but I understand that even medications are in place now. People are taking some sort of medical support, some chemicals and medical support to get through this anxiety.
Sounds very strange, especially for children. But
And we have to understand the background. Now the competition is very high. We can't blame the children. Even the parents put the kids through that stress because of the high competition. So many people are appearing for exams, and this is going to decide their future, especially when you're in crossroads like 10th, 12th, and all these things. So much pressure on the child, because it's going to make or break his career.
correct.
And of course, the parents are also creating that kind of an anxious environment, and the parents are not responsible for that. The peer group puts the pressure on the parents.
Right,
Everything, the pressure is coming socially, and finally, who suffers maximum is the child.
right, right.
Yeah.
So, how can we spot it, and what are the symptoms? As you've already said, that they feel nauseous, vomiting and fever. But how can we spot it without all of these things?
You can make out, right, withdrawal symptoms. They withdraw from society. They're locked in rooms. They're getting into depression. They don't give you an eye contact. They're suffering inside. They don't want to share with anybody. And if you don't support them in the early stages, then it can become very nasty. They can actually go to the point of killing themselves. So
Correct.
when you can make out when kids are actually going to that withdrawal mode, as parents, I'm sure parents will know how the child is. So once
Right.
the child starts withdrawing and away from society, away from everybody, always with the books, sweaty hands, always very anxious, it's very easy to find out.
Correct.
And you should nip it in the bud. You should not let it go too far. That is what I say. Don't push the child too far. If you see, most important is life, most important is your child.
Right.
career, studies, these are important, but most important is your precious child. So, if you're seeing your child going into a dark zone, quickly hold the hand and just get them back.
Right.
Don't let them stay in that place for a long time. It's not good. And
So,
always be in touch with their friends, okay? Always be in touch with their friends, because
yes,
what they don't share with us, the friends know better. So always try to have that interactive conversations with the friends circle to understand where your child stands, because many a times friends give us inputs that as parents we might not know.
correct, correct. So I think as parents, we need to be very vigilant, right? What is happening around our children. So we've already spoken about parents, how are they actually, burdened with a lot of pressure, peer pressure. So what can children do to kind of, not let this burden, overpower their personality or something? Yeah, Jay, I would like to ask this question.
Yes. First, let us understand what is the core reason. One is competition, you would say.
Correct.
And like the current scenario, the way how our society is working and they are
Hmm.
thinking about it, it's more about marks. And
Correct.
so what actually should be done, what actually children should understand, and what actually the society should encourage is that they are learning. The first thing is that they are learning, and uh, let us understand what assessment is. When they are giving an examination, they are just going there, and whatever they have learned year round, and it's just a test
Hmm.
where they are just going to demonstrate, or they are just going to like share how they are performing, and it
Right.
has to be evaluated. So it's not a big deal, and it's psychological also. The
Hmm.
pressure is building because they are thinking it in terms of competition, in terms of marks. So I think they should change their attitude towards it. They should change their perception.
Right.
First thing is they should enjoy the learning process, and
Correct.
even they should enjoy the process of the examination, where they are going and they are just presenting themselves, and they are expressing themselves in terms of whatever they have learned. Also, they should accept what level they are, and they should understand that how whatever like what amount of learning they have done, and based on that they are going to perform. Okay, now coming to the board examination part, so just before the board examination,
That's a good example.
and that is also one hype created, and when children go to 10th class and everybody are behind and they say that it's very important.
Very important.
And
You have to study very hard. Don't do this, don't do that. Just focus on examination. Yeah.
so the society, parents, everyone starts building that pressure. So let us understand about board exam also, why they are important. So
Right.
why board exams are important? Because they are that is the first time when the exam is standardized and it is conducted throughout the country, and children get the same paper.
Right.
So when you are giving an exam in your school, you are just competing with 60 students. But here, when you are giving a board exam, like the whole nation is giving the same paper.
True.
So
True.
the pressure again builds up to another level. But again, it is still an assessment, it is still an examination, and you are just going there to demonstrate or to express what you have learned. Whatever assessment process is going on, we should understand that. Now, preparing for the exam, what happens generally mostly that students are burdened with a lot of studies, and they keep on studying for long hours. So what they should do is they should take breaks,
Hmm.
or maybe in between what they should do is do some activity. I can remember when I was in school, and just before the day exam day, I after after 4 or 5 hours I have studied, I used to play cricket for half an hour, and my mother used to come and she used to say, "You have an exam tomorrow. Why are you playing?" But I used to tell her that if I don't play, if I don't relax for this half an hour, and this anxiety and stress is going to cook up, and I won't be able to perform in my exam tomorrow.
Right.
So that is also important.
Right.
I would say, डर से मत डरो, डर के आगे जीत है.
Yes. Yes.
The fear builds up, and we are stuck with that. And there are other ways and means you can. First thing, you need to be aware. at what point, if you have, like, you are in that phase, you have been studying for 4 5 hours and now you are stressed out. So you should be aware that at this point I'm a little bit stressed out and I need to take a break.
Right.
And for a few minutes, maybe for half an hour, maybe for 15 minutes, you just leave your studies. You can listen to music. You can even do breathing exercises. Whatever you feel like you enjoy, you can take a break and you can do those small activities in
Just
between.
take some break. Don't
Yes,
study, at a stretch for very, very long hours, right?
yes. And you should have a plan. You should not procrastinate. And you should not get distracted. Nowadays, children are having a lot of modes of distraction also,
Hmm.
social media and phones and all those things. But still, they should start with a plan that these are the hours I'm having. These are the okay, and they should also understand their level. This is what I am targeting. This
Hmm.
is how much I should cover, and they should not they should sleep properly. They should not. Some students would study late night and they would sleep in the morning. They will, their routine also gets disrupted. So,
Hmm.
but they should not do that. They should have a plan. They should sleep well. They should uh, plan their days and how many hours they should study. And even during the examination, when it comes to time management, like they should have a plan how much time I'm going to devote in what marks question. Let's say objective is 20 marks and so it is 1 mark question and they are easy. So they can finish that in half an hour and they are having a watch with them. They can keep a time check. If they are stuck in one question, they should leave that for the last and they should move on to the next question. So small little planning they can do according to themselves for the exams also. During the exam, what I'm going to do. They
Correct.
should go with a plan.
So
Very well said.
preparation
Very
of
well.
so preparation of a chart or maybe a study schedule is a must, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay. So because we've discussed it at length that what is anxiety and what are the things which are faced by students and how should they prepare. So Rekha, I want to ask, you know, yeah, the students can, do all of these things that Jay has already mentioned, take it as a normal examination and, take some breaks. But as parents, what should be our role at this point of time, especially during the examination time? As parents, what all we can do?
It depends on the parent, is what I feel, Akriti, because there's no single recipe for all. See, as a parent, if I'm already a business person and I know that after, let's take a scenario of 12th exam. I
Correct.
know that he's anyway going to join my business. The way I approach his exams is going to be pretty casual. You just pass, and then I'm anyway, we're going to run our business. But if you look at 90% of the parents, they're looking for professional courses.
True.
After 12th or 10th, we're looking at going for MSETs or medicals or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you take a common scenario as such, then definitely there is a lot of pressure, not only just on kids, but also on parents.
Parents.
Because I mean, it's a coincidence that today we are talking about this, and today my son's gone for his 12th exam. Today's first day of his 12th exam. And my husband's waiting at the center. He's going to work from the car, stay there till 12:31 and get him back. He need not do that. But, somewhere there is an element of tension, even in parents, because, these are all crossroads. These are important exams. They decide the career. So, as parents, what do we need to do? Just support your child, give them healthy food. As Mr. Jay said, give them, some breaks in between. Don't treat them like sheep that, continuously they have to study for 16, 17 hours. The mind cannot take so much. So, in between, let them play some music, let them come and watch some TV, let them go interact with friends, let them go for a small drive and come. It will rejuvenate them, their energies. Don't make them sick people.
Hmm.
End of the day, with all this pressure, you are not going and writing the exam. He has to go and write.
Hmm.
So already the major chunk of work the child only has to do. If you can't do anything, at least don't traumatize the child.
Hmm.
Give them aims, give them ambitions, give them a vision, give them all that, but don't give them pressure. There is a way to use your words. There is a way to put your language across to your child. Instead of telling, hey, you're not studying, you can say that, I think, you watch TV, you had fun. How about it if you study? Can I sit with you? Can you just get your books? Can we do it together? I'll ask you a few. Can you answer? Let's do it together. So that way, even they'll feel that, okay, I have some support. And they'll come back with those papers and they're like, Mom, can you just hear me out? This is what I wrote. See, some things might just bounce because that subject is something you left long time back. But just that physically you're there and you're just listening to them, that makes a lot of difference.
Lot
Instead
of,
of just
lot of
shushing them off, that don't waste your time telling me, go write another 4 times, write it 5 times. I mean, why?
yes.
So, as parents, we have a very, very big role. And definitely, we should not exploit just because I'm a parent, he has to listen to me. Don't exploit your child. End of the day, your child is also a life with its own intelligence. Okay. It's not your slave. Your child is not your slave. Many parents who are listening to this, whatever YouTube thing that we are doing, please get it straight. Just because your dreams could not be fulfilled because you couldn't become a doctor or engineer, now you're dreaming that your son or daughter should become that. So, what you failed in your life, you want your child to do is ridiculous. Don't do that. Your child has come in a unique way. It's a unique, independent existence. So, respect them for what their feelings are, what their ambitions are. If they want to go in a creative way, let them do it. Don't force your ideas on them because after that, they will suffer, just because you are rubbing your dreams onto them. So, let them bloom the way they want to. They have all the rights to do so, right?
So important. This is so
So
important.
important. I mean, don't make them stereotype, that you have to be this, you have to be this. There are so many opportunities out there. You can
Correct.
excel in anything. You can excel and become a master in whatever you want to do. Don't limit their capabilities.
Right. So as you've already mentioned that your husband is still waiting for the child. So it just brought me back when I was giving my class 12th examination. So my mother used to come and drop me and pick me also. And I remember when I was preparing for the examination. So one day before the examination, she used to sleep with me in the same room. And I used to keep the light on till 1 or 2, and she used to sleep with me because I was just feeling, okay, if she is there, then I'll be able to like study. And now at that point of time, I never valued all of these things. I thought every parent does it. So what's the big deal? Now, because I'm staying away from her, now I realize, okay, this is what, and I think all children would do. They also
Hmm.
realize the importance and whatever sacrifices their parents are doing to, let them achieve their
True.
dreams.
True.
So I think this is very important that children should acknowledge that what their parents are doing for them. I think they will acknowledge at a later stage. At that point of time, they will not acknowledge. But yes, I think as parents, it's very, very important that we need to ease the burden, right?
Hmm.
Need to make
Calm them down.
Yes, first they have to calm themselves also down because
Yeah.
sometimes I believe because everyone is doing so good these days, it becomes very important that my child also does or perform at the same level. So
Comparison.
we need to get rid of that kind of question that arises in our mind, and I think every child will actually find or pave their own path, right? In the end of
Absolutely.
the day.
Absolutely.
So it is important to acknowledge, to let them bloom, as Rekha has
And
already
I
mentioned.
must say, Akriti, kids are very smart these days. If you compare your child with another child, they'll say that but his dad is a CEO and you're still a software engineer. I don't compare you with that uncle, right? He has a Benz car and
Okay,
you're still with your Sandro car.
right. Oh my God,
Nowadays, kids give those answers. You're comparing my marks to that guy's marks. You compare yourself with that guy's father now.
correct.
You don't have answers. Yeah, he's a CEO. Now, what do I do?
What do I do? Yeah, yeah. That is one question that your child might ask you. So
They're
better.
asking. They're asking. They're smart.
They are very smart. So we had a lovely session with both of you, and I believe all of these inputs will help the parents as well as the children out there who are actually preparing for their board examination. And I believe with parents, with children, parents are also preparing for their child's board examination, right? Because the hard work is from both the ends. So I want all the parents to take a chill pill, relax, analyze what's going around them, and
And
then
please understand, parents also have grandparents pressurizing them.
Correct.
6 o'clock, I get my mother's call. Did you pack his hall ticket? Are his pens writing? I'm like, okay, mom. So we have to answer four generations.
4 generations. So yeah.
That in India, especially.
True, true, true. That is well said, and that's very true also. So yes, we had a great session, and Jay, because this was your first session, I hope you really enjoyed with us and would
Yeah,
actually join us for another, upcoming session as well.
sure, definitely.
Great. So thank you so much for both of you, to both of you
Thank you.
for taking time.
Okay, thanks, Akriti. Pleasure always.
All right.
Thank you, Akriti. Thank you, Rekha.
Thank you,
Bye bye.
Jay. Yeah. Bye bye.